I'm Jeet Khan, and in this tutorial we are going to learn how to use find command in Linux. So I have written a blog post for it. So here you can see comprehensive examples of find command, how to use it, and what are the possible options. So let's try it out. So basically, a file can be searched via various parameters, various options, various filters. So we'll look the possible options. So first let's try out to find a file by its name. So the command is find option and the file name. Here I am already logged into a Linux server. Let's try to find imp.conf, which is available inside etc nginx.conf.d directory. So I'll be specifically looking in etc nginx directory. Let's see if find command is able to find it or not. Here it is. So you can also verify. So it is there. So it is found it. Now let's try changing the case of this file. Say the P is caps. So it is not able to find it. To ignore the case, we need to use I option. Here it is. So it is able to find it. Let's go ahead. So we have seen how to use I option to ignore the case, and let's try to find a file not having a particular pattern. So let's try to find all the files which do not have .conf inside etc nginx. So it has given me all the files and the directories which do not have .conf at the end. The same thing you can also achieve using an exclamation mark. So instead of hyphen not, you can use exclamation mark. We are escaping it because it is a character in bash, so bash will interpret it. So we are simply putting a backlash. Let's try it out, and it is giving the same result. Now let's try to find the file by its type. So there are possible types are F is for regular file, D is for directory, I is for symbolic link, C is for character devices, and B is for block devices. Let's try a few examples. So let's try to find files with type F and having a pattern .conf at the end. Again, we will be looking inside nginx directory, as we don't want to pile up the list of the output. We want to clearly see the output. So let's try this out. Here it is. So it has given me all the files which have .conf. So it is not showing me the directory. It is showing me only the files. Here it was showing me the files as well as the directories. Here it is only showing me the files because we have used the type F. Now let's try to find all the character devices. Since we will be able to find it inside the root, as it's not available inside the nginx. So let's try to find it in root. So here are all the character devices. The same you can try it out for block devices by giving -type D. Now the files can also be filtered by time and size. So let's try first the size, and possible size units are: C is for bytes, K is for kilobytes, M is for megabytes, and G is for gigabytes. Small b is for 512 byte block. You can find files which are exactly of certain size. Here, let's take an example of 1 GB. So we are going to find all the files inside root which are of size 1 GB. Let's try to change it to something else, say 4 KB, and let's try to look into sample directory. So it's not giving because there is no file. We'll look in, there is a WordPress directory, so let's try to find. So it is showing you all these files are of 4 KB. Sorry, we have not specified the size. So these files are of 4 KBs, and let's try to look into samples. So yeah, okay. So find files which are less than 1 GB in size. For if you need to find any files that is less than of specific size, then you need to use hyphen option in front of the size. And if you want to find files that is more than of specific size, then you need to use plus sign. This is how you can filter the files on the basis of size. Now let's try to filter it using time. So the possible option for times are: access time, it is the last time a file was read or written to. Second is modification time, last time when the content of file was modified. Change time is the last time when the file's inode metadata was changed. So suppose if you want to find a file having modification time 1 day ago, so you can give hyphen m time. M is for modification time, and 1 is for day. So let's try it out, and we'll be looking for the results in root. So here are the list of files that have modification time of 1 day ago. Now let's try to find files that were accessed less than a day ago. That means those are accessed in the last day. So there will be a lot many files. If we look in some other directory, say let's say sample. So the sample directory has been modified today, that means within a day, and the file sample.txt. Then find the files whose meta information was changed more than 1 day ago. So for more than 1 day ago, or for more than any day, you need to use plus sign. And C is the change time. That means files inode metadata was changed. Now suppose these are in the days. If you want to find the files on the basis of minutes, then you can use min option. So find all files that were modified in the last 5 minutes. So let's try to increase the time in minutes, and let's try to look inside sample directory. So as such there is no file. If we try to increase it by 20, there is no one. And let's try to look into root directory now, and I'm sure there would be a lot many files inside the root directories. Yeah, here it is, mainly from proc. You can also find files that are newer than as compared to a file, as compared to a given file. So uh, let's try to find all the files that are those are newer than etc and linux on file. So all these files are newer than the file is specified. Now let's try to find files by owner and permission. So you can find the files that are owned by a particular user, or that are owned by a particular group, or that have a particular permission. So let's try to find it out. So in sample directory we have sample.txt, and if we see the file owner, then it is owned by root, right? So let's try to find it out, all the files that are owned by user IMP, not root. And we'll be looking in sample directory. So as such there is no file. Let's try to find the files that are owned by root in sample directory. So the sample directory is owned by root, and the sample.txt file is owned by root. The same is for group option. You can specify the group. Now let's try to find files having a particular permission. So let's look for sample.txt. So it has 700 permission. So let's try to find. Okay, first we'll go for the wrong query. That means we'll be looking for the files having 400 permission. And here in sample.txt it is 700, not 400. So it should not return any result. As expected, it is not returning any result. Now let's try to change it to 700, and let's see. Here it is. So it is giving me the result. That means this file have 700 permission. You can also find files which have at least certain permissions. So for example, I want to find all the files having permissions at least 400. So as we used here, so we will try to have 700. We will try to find all the files have at least permission 700, and we will be looking inside our sample directory. So these are the two things which have permission at least 700. Now we will be looking for the files by depth. Depth means the directory levels up to which we can find a file. Say for example, we have a directory hierarchy of level 10. That means folder 1, then inside folder 1 there is folder 2, then inside folder 2 there is folder 3, and so on up to 10. So the depth is like 10. So levels are 10, and we can specify till how much depth the file should be searched for. So let's try to find it out. So for up to depth 2, max depth up to 2, that means hierarchy level is will go up to 2. Find all the files having star or conf, that means conf at the end. So let's try to find the files, and here again we will be looking inside etc nginx, as the root will result a lot when it result. So as you can see, it has gone up to only two levels, etc and nginx, and the later one is the conf files. Now we can also look for the files only up to a specific directory level. So you can specify the minimum depth. You can look for this in the whole root directory, as inside it is the nginx 5 level might not be there. So it has given me the min depth of 5 and 1 2 3 4 and 5. You can also specify a range, minimum and maximum depth, and find all the files between them using by combining min depth and max depth option. Now you can also execute some commands on the result of find command. That means your find command resulting some files, and you can perform some operation on those results. For example, uh, first of all, let's see the basic syntax. So find command and find parameters. That means by name, whatever option we can specify. Then execute this command on the result of this find command. Let's try one example. So we'll be finding files with type D, that means that all the directories with permissions 755. So all those files which have this permission and are of type D, on those files, on those directories, execute chmod 700. That means we are changing the permission of those files. So let's try this out. As we have seen, the sample file is of 700. So let's try to change the permission to 40, and we'll be, since the permission currently is 700, so we are saying that find all the files inside sample directory which are of type F, that means file not the directory, with permission 700. That so this command will result into sample .txt. So and we are executing the command chmod and changing the permission to 40. So first of all, let's execute this and see the result. Now let's see if that file has been modified or not. See, the permission has changed. It's only read, that is 4, and rest is 0. Now let's again execute this one. So we are again changing, let's change it to 777 this time. And since the current permission is 40, we need to change this to 4, and we'll be looking inside separate directory. So let's go ahead, execute this one, and now let's again see the permission. So it is 7777. So that is it for this tutorial. Hope you enjoyed it and learned it. Keep learning and keep sharing.